Hey, what up, guys? Coming to you again, doing another What's Next. This one is on undefeated former middleweight champion Jaime, or former junior middleweight champion Jaime Munguia. Mangria is currently my number 9 middleweight in the world right now at 160 pounds. In January, he made his middleweight debut when he moved up and took on Spike O'Sullivan in a middleweight clash. Now, O'Sullivan was supposed to test Mangria, tough fighter, veteran, been around, scrappy, and he did just that. He tested Mangria quite well. They were going at it. He actually hurt Mangria badly at the end of the second or third round. He caught him with a clean, straight punch. Luckily for Mangria, it was right at the end of the round, because if it wasn't, it could have been very bad for him. But he weathered that storm. He actually started boxing and using a real stiff jab on O'Sullivan, and he broke him down and finally stopped him in the late rounds to stay undefeated. So now the big question is, what's next for Jaime Munguia? Well, he was talking about a showdown with Kanat Islam, who's undefeated, not in the top 10, not in my top 10, but he is rated by the WBO number 3. So he was talking about facing him. Munguia's number 2 in the WBC and number 1 in the WBO right now. He's also number 10 in the IBF, so he's got some opportunities. Islam looks like, he said that's who he was preparing for, so that doesn't mean that's who he's fighting for sure next. So let's run through the top 10 and see at 160 and see what could be possible for Munguia next. Start with number 1, the reigning WBO or WBA super champion, Canelo Alvarez. It's an easy fight to make for Golden Boy. They're both Golden Boy guys, but Canelo's people don't want to disrupt a Mexican on the rise like Munguia, especially since he doesn't have a big name yet. So his people are pretty clear on that right now. Right now, they're not interested in the fight with Munguia. Canelo's likely going to face Billy Joe Saunders next at super middleweight, and then he could come back down, or he could face Triple G at super middleweight or middleweight. But that looks like his plans right now. So Munguia is not next with Canelo. Triple G, Gennady Golovkin. Well, Triple G is going to be making a mandatory defense of his title next. June is the targeted date, but with the pandemic, it might get pushed back. But Triple G looks like he's making that first of his title, and then after that, it looks like Canelo, but we don't know. Next at number 3, is undefeated WBC champion Jamaal Charlo. This is a tough fight to make because it's the PBC working with Golden Boy. But Munguia is number 2 in the WBC, but it looks like Charlo is likely going to face Sergey Derevyanchenko next, or Chris Eubank Jr., one of those guys. And, maybe Munguia could be after that in a mandatory fight, but that fight's not going to happen next. But it could happen sometime soon, so pay attention. We'll see. Next at he's number 3. Next at number 4 is Sergey Derevyanchenko. I think Derevyanchenko is likely going to get the fight. He's number 1 in the WBC. He's likely going to get the fight with what's his name, Charlo next. And Munguia is probably going to face Islam in an eliminator in the WBO. So I don't think these two guys lock horns next. It's not a mandatory fight to make, and they're with rival promoters, PBC and Golden Boy, so not likely. Next at number 5 is undefeated WBO champion Demetrius Andrade. Andrade is looking for anything. He is the WBO champion, and Munguia is number 1 in the WBO. And if Munguia is looking at a showdown with Kanat Islam, does that mean he's considering that's gonna be a final eliminator? Because Islam's ranked high there. Does that mean that's gonna be a final eliminator? And then these two guys, and then it's setting up for him to face Andrade. We don't know. It's an easy fight to make because it's Matchroom and Golden Boy working together, and it'd be on DAZN. But is this the fight that Munguia really wants? We don't know. It's kind of up in the air. I hope it is, because that'd be a great test for him, and Andre would get the big fight that he's been wanting. But we don't know as of right now. But Munguia, if he's leaning towards Islam, this fight could happen down the road. Now, I know that it's a what's next. That's not what's next for these guys, but it could be right after that. So we just got to wait and see. But not happening next. Number 6, Chris Eubank Jr., the WBA interim champion. Eubank's with the PBC. They're trying to line him up for something else. And Munguia's trying to line himself up for something else. So PBC working with Golden Boy. It's a good matchup, but not likely to happen. Next at number 7 is Ryota Murata, the WBA regular champion. Munguia's not rated in the WBA right now. Murata's probably is going to fight in a rubber match against Rob Brandt next, or make another optional defense against somebody else. So doesn't look like this fight's possible. It's top rank working with Golden Boy. I don't think they're going to get together for this one. Number 8 is former WBA champion Rob Brandt. Now, I don't think it's a bad fight to make if Brandt cannot land the rubber match with Ryota Murata, but it is supposed to be a mandatory fight with Murata, so I do believe there's a good chance that Rob Brandt gets that fight with Ryota Murata, and likely going to happen next. But Munguia, it's top rank working with ESPN. Unless it's a big name opponent, I think Oscar's going to want to put, Golden Boy's going to want to put him in front of guys that are hittable, consistently. Rob Brandt moves. He's a good boxer. Might be high risk, low reward right here. Munguia's number 9, and then number 10, Matt Korobov. Just too high risk. He's an older fighter, a veteran, and if Munguia were to beat him, it's high risk, low reward, because if Munguia were to beat Matt Korobov, people would be like, well, Korobov's 37 years old. He should beat a 37-year-old man. He's a younger fighter. And if he loses or Korobov looks good, because Korobov's a skilled southpaw, people are going to look at him and go, well, he shouldn't have given him that good of a fight. Maybe Munguia is not as good as we thought. So it's kind of no-win situation, in my opinion, somewhat, because Korobov hasn't done much lately. So, and it's the PBC working with Golden Boy, which is just not likely to happen. So that's it for the top 10. What do I think Jaime Munguia is going to do next? I honestly think he's going to be challenging Kenat Islam in a WBO final eliminator to get the mandatory title shot against Demetrius Andre. I think that's what he's doing. I think Munguia's got full confidence and wants to go after anybody, and I don't think he's afraid of Andre at all. So I do think that fight's very possible, and that's what Munguia's going to go for, because it makes most sense for him right now at this moment. So we'll see. But all right, guys, that's the what's next on Undefeated former junior middleweight champion Jaime Munguia. Hope you enjoyed it. True Boxing, you've been here with the truth.